Hi everybody, welcome back to Blood Rose Reviews. Today I have a comparison review to share with you from in regards to DoorDash and Grubhub. Now, I've had a lot of bad experiences with Grubhub, and they range from everything from customer service to the delivery and the appearance of the food. Well, we had decided that we were going to go ahead and we were going to get some Taco Bell because it's been extremely hot and we haven't really wanted to cook and heat up our home, especially with the fact that we don't really have any central air. And we have this small standing plug-in air conditioner that sits on the floor that you have to constantly fill up with water or ice, and it's a mess. And we need a window AC, but we haven't been able to get one yet. We haven't found one that would actually fit our window. But anyway, it's been extremely hot, and because of the fact that it's been so hot, we decided to go ahead and order food for delivery. We didn't want pizza or anything like that, and we decided we were going to go ahead and we were going to go into Grubhub and see what they had. Give them another chance. Because our experience before last night was just as bad, and I was overcharged. Well, they had made that right, so we went through and we found Taco Bell and decided we were going to go ahead and we were going to order Taco Bell. That didn't go as smoothly as what it should have. The app kept kicking us out. So every single time that I went to put something in, I would be able to put one, maybe two items, and then I would have to go back to the beginning, change the location, and then turn around, go back through, try and add more. Needless to say, this went on for well over an hour and a half. It was probably going on 2 hours and maybe an extra 15 minutes before it finally got me so aggravated. I talked to my husband about going ahead and doing DoorDash because at least I don't get kicked out. DoorDash is also a little bit more expensive, but they tend to be a lot more reliable. So we went in and we decided on what we wanted through DoorDash, and it was about, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes or so after I started putting everything in on DoorDash that I went back to Grubhub and for the heck of it just added a sauce packet to see if it would let me add anything else. Well, it did. So I went through and I added all the food back that we had decided on to go through Grubhub, because it was actually a little cheaper, and we wanted to, we still wanted to give them a chance since they had made everything right the last time. It ended up being a mistake. But what made up for it was when I called in for customer service. Now, here's what happened with this delivery and why I say that it ended up being a mistake. our delivery time was pushed back 3 times. So we ended up getting our food after 9 o'clock. This woman that had picked up our order, I'll back up just a tiny bit. Both DoorDash and Grubhub have the option for you to choose contactless delivery, which means that they will go through and they will put your food exactly where you tell them to. So if you want it at your back door, they'll put it at your back door. You want it at your front door, or if you're in a hotel room and you want them to put it in the lobby, then that's what they'll do. They'll go ahead and they'll put it down exactly where you tell them to. And from my understanding, they're supposed to call you or text you or notify you somehow that your food is there. I did not opt in for contactless delivery. I wanted it handed directly to me so that I knew for a fact that we had our food and we didn't have to worry about bugs. You know, sitting outside at the back door, bugs, you know, big possibility. I don't like the idea of eating bugs with my food. Now, if I'm camping, it's a completely different story, but I can still keep, I can still keep things off of my food. If it's just sitting there, then, I don't have control over what actually happens with my food. Okay, with that being said, the delivery driver, she did not bother to let me know that she was here. I had to go into the app and check to see where our food was at because we had no knock on the door, either our front door or our back door, or even the entryway into our apartment building. We had no text, no phone call, no nothing to indicate that our food was already delivered. I go into the app and it says that it was delivered at 9 o'clock. I think it was about 9:15. It might have been 9:10, but it was already after 9 o'clock when I was checking this. I told my husband that, according to the app, it was already delivered. He checks the front door, I check the back door. I see a car sitting there that I don't recognize. I look down, there's 2 cups sitting down on the back porch ramp, no drink carrier. There's a bag sitting there that looks like it had basically just been tossed down or dropped. It wasn't closed. There was nothing keeping any possibility of bugs from going inside. It was just sitting there completely open. And there was our party pack, because my husband had to work today and we wanted to make sure that he was able to take some of the food to work with him. That party pack looked like it was up towards the right side a little bit more, because it was off the ground by about like that, off the porch, sorry, by about this much. As soon as I started picking up the food, even though I could not see the driver, that car started backing up. I was so livid. that I yelled at her to knock on the door. As I was picking up our food and our drinks, I ended up spilling a drink because there was no carrier. We get inside. We get inside and we check our food. It's a complete and total disaster. It looks like everything was just thrown in there, like she had thrown it in her car and didn't, she did not care at all about how we were going to be getting our food. The party pack, packets and all, were all over on the right side. Everything was cold. Maybe 3 or 4 things from the party pack actually had a little bit of warmth to them yet. My husband's chips and nacho cheese was all over the bottom of the bag. I immediately called Grubhub, put in a complaint with that driver, and got our money back. If it was not for the gentleman who picked up the phone when I called in order to complain about this woman and how she had delivered our food, I would not recommend them in the slightest. If you get Grubhub, make sure that you are prepared for the possibility of your delivery driver being a complete and total obnoxious, abominable person. This woman neglected her job duties so bad that she cost herself, her company, and Taco Bell money. She completely disregarded the simple humanity that should have been involved in delivering the food. If you decide that you're going to work for Grubhub or for DoorDash, make sure that you pay attention to what your customers are actually wanting. Because if you do what the woman did for us, you're going to end up costing the company a lot of money. You're going to cost the restaurants a lot of money. And you're going to be dishonoring yourself. On to the DoorDash portion. After I was finally able to put my husband and I's order in through Grubhub, we decided that we were going to go ahead and get our dog a cheesy roll-up because she's been a really good girl. We do things like that for her on occasion. She doesn't get people food every day, but she does on occasion end up getting a little something for being a good girl. The reason we ended up doing DoorDash for our dog was because of the fact that Grubhub had been kicking out, going back in, pushing times and everything else, that we couldn't get it in. It was not allowing us to put it in. So I put the DoorDash order in for her cheesy roll-up about 5 minutes after we did the Grubhub order. Here's the funny thing. Okay. It was the same Taco Bell that Grubhub kept kicking me out of, saying that they were closed. DoorDash delivered the cheesy roll-up, even though it was at the front door. Okay. But DoorDash delivered the cheesy roll-up for our dog in less than 20 minutes. The woman was polite. She knocked on the door. Yes, with the social distancing thing, she did step back after she handed me the bag. And when I told her that, it was put in my account and everything to be shown to go to the back door, she apologized because the app has been acting up and she wasn't able to get that information. So because she wasn't able to get the information, she went to the front door. No problem. She was polite. She was considerate. She said she would remember it for next time if we ended up ordering again. And, she just all around wonderful woman. And then about a half hour or so later, that's when everything happened with Grubhub. So with this experience and the comparison, I give out of 1 to 10, I give DoorDash an 8 because they are a little bit more expensive. They don't have all the menu items that Grubhub has that would be on the menus when you go into the restaurants. And the information doesn't always show up. For Grubhub, when it comes between 1 and 10, I give them a 4. Their only saving grace is the customer service. Overall, be careful and expect things to go wrong and take longer than expected with Grubhub. With DoorDash, they're pretty good. Things can occasionally go wrong with the site, with the app. That's to be expected. That happens. But my experience last night puts them as the better company. Don't take my word for it though. This is just from my personal experience. Try them out yourselves and make your decision on your own. Take care.